All right, quick video. My last video, my headset was having a problem. This video should be clear. Quick recap. Jesus did not come back and take us yet. Jesus is going to come back and take us. It is as sure as death is to the people that lived in 100 years ago. They've all died. That is as sure as that's going to happen. Jesus is going to return. I probably shouldn't have uploaded the video, but I didn't realize it was that bad. Sorry about that. Well, let me go through the pictures real quick. Like I said, it's just a quick recap over what we looked at on the Enoch timeline, starting the year on March 17th, because the day of equal parts that you can look up in time and date always happens on March 16th. Doesn't matter where the magnetic North Pole is pointing. March 16th will always be the day of equal parts. So I start the year on March 17th, according to the Enoch timeline. This is the day Jesus said, "Are there not 12 hours in the day?" That's the day Lazarus died. When you do that, the 44th day of the year from March 17th is exactly 30 days after Nisan 14. It's IR 14. It's March 30th for Passover, and second Passover is April the 29th. That's what we're coming up to next, is April the 29th, starting the year off on March the 17th. So let me go over this really quick. Let me see where I started last time. Magnetic north is moving. They said when it reached 40 degrees, it would flip. North Pole will be South Pole, and South Pole will be North Pole. Just like a magnet, you have a North and a South Pole on it, and they will either attract or repel. So when that happens, we believe that happened at the flood, and when it happens again, there's going to be quite an event take place on Earth. There's a lot of things that we're going through right now that we're seeing, as far as Israel being surrounded by enemies from within and from without, and all kinds of things that we're seeing around the planet. I mean, orange skies in China, red rivers. It's just everywhere. The signs are everywhere, just like the Bible said they would be. That keeps happening. Remember how the people murmured when Moses went up into the mountain and did not come back down in the time they thought he should come back. And that's the same thing that's happening now. We think he should be back already. What's taking so long? And then some people are acting like they're going to give up and stop watching, which if you're a watcher like I have been for a very long time, you won't stop. You'll continue to watch and look. And I went over this, and I'll go over it again real quick. Remember that blessed are those servants whom the master finds on watch. Not watching, but on watch when he is returned. These are the watchers that are now. That's us. We are the watchers. Truly, I tell you, he will dress himself to serve. He'll wear a waiter's outfit according to the Bible. This is what we read. And will have them recline at a table. You'll be very relaxed at the table. And he himself will come and wait on them. Now he's going to talk to the tribulation saints and the Jew, even if he comes in the second or third watch of the night and finds them alert, those servants will be blessed. So I went over that. You won't find this meal spoken of in Mark. You won't find it in Matthew. You only find it in Luke, because Luke is to the bride. Readiness at any hour. Readiness at any hour. And same thing here in Matthew. We're going across this. The last date we had was a very large stepping stone that we made it to. We still haven't reached the other side, but it's coming. It is coming. 44 days from March 17th ahead of the year is April the 29th, the second Passover. And I showed you all of that. The lion, this reminds me of the story of Samson, when he found the lion, the carcass of the lion, and inside was the honey, and he took it and he told a riddle. And here we have the reflection of Christ. Moon is the bride, a reflection of Christ. It is the light that reflects off of us is a reflection of Christ. And we are in the heart of Leo on the 29th. And that keeps happening. And now 21 days, Mercury goes into retrograde. Ironically, it happens the day after the solar eclipse, and it ends on the day that Israel became a nation, and they will be exactly 75 years old on May 14th. 21 days. 21 days, we're reminded of the story that in Daniel, that Daniel 10:12, then said he unto me, Fear not, Daniel, for the first day that thou didst set thine heart to understand and to chasten thyself before thy God, thy words were heard. God hears us. He knows we want him to come back, but there is an exact moment that he will come back. That's what we're trying to figure out, and there is nothing wrong with trying to figure that out. But the prince of the kingdom of Persia withstood me 21 days, so 21 days. But lo, Michael, one of the chief priests, remember, there is a war in heaven, and Michael will prevail. One of the chief priests came to help me and remained there with the kings of Persia. Now I am come to make thee understand. At the end of the day, Amos 3:7 will be fulfilled. God will tell us. We're going to attempt to try to figure this out. And I think God leads us along on purpose with these things that are going on in the world. We can see these things coming to pass. They're all coming to pass right now, just as the Bible predicted, and we're watching it unfold right before our very eyes. And I think at the end of the day, now I am come to make thee understand. So I think he's going to tell us here, all of us. And again, like I said, one surety, absolute surety to everyone that lived. Let's go back 200 years. To every single human being that lived 200 years, there was a surety that lived 200 years ago. There was a surety. They were going to die. That is as certain as Jesus is going to come back and take us out of here. He is God. He is omnipotent. He knows the beginning from the end. He knew Satan was going to play his little games. And at the end of the day, Jesus will come back in his time. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, Speak unto the children of Israel, saying, If any man of you or your posterity shall be unclean. Now this is where we get the second Passover. Comes in the 14th day of the second month, which this year, well, every year on the Enoch timeline, it's always on April the 29th. So, and my grandson there. So I wanted to go back over that because the audio was terrible. You can muscle through it. I kind of listened to it, but this audio should be a lot better. Isaiah 53, I posted his video in the community page, on my community page. You can go listen to it. It's an awesome video. He doesn't cut any punches. He doesn't pull any punches. He literally puts it right out there. This is going to happen. Where are you going to be when it happens? And these seeds that we plant for people to know what happened. We're not here to convert anyone. Our job is not to do that. That is God's job. We are here to plant those seeds, just like the seeds that are thrown. Some are thrown on the roadway where the birds eat them. Some are thrown in the thistles where the thistles choke them out. Some are thrown in the rocks where they start to grow, but then they die out. And some are thrown in good soil. And so throw those seeds. Just keep throwing the seeds, and God will do what God will do. And it's all up to him. It has nothing to do with us. But we will say this. We will say this in that when we're gone, like I say to people that I come across, when you see me go, not me, but everyone, I think it's 150-something million people, when 150 million people just disappear off the face of the earth, when you see them go, you're going to know what happened, and they're going to create a big lie about it. But if you said something to a lot of people, if you said something, and when it happens, they're going to be like, now, wait a second. There was that crazy guy talking about this. I think I know exactly what happened. And they'll go grab their Bible and they'll read the good news, and they'll understand, just like the Bible did for me when I began reading it. I've had this Bible. I want to say I got this Bible in 1983, 1984, I think, is when I got this Bible. I won't part. I've gotten many others, but I won't part with this one because this is the Bible that I was saved through. So I hang on to that Bible. The Bible's near and dear to me, and so they will go to the Bible. They will begin reading, and the Lord will open up their hearts, and the Lord will save them. That's His job. That's what He does. So in the meantime, what do? It's a blessing in disguise. We want the rapture to occur right now, but God wants you to tell one more person. He wants you to tell one more person that when you see me go, and that this event is going to take place, and so many people are going to be shocked by this event, and that's what He wants us to do. So again, quick recap of my last horrible video. I apologize for the audio. I don't know what happened, but this one should clear it up. I think I had a different headset in, and I think this is the headset matches better with the phone is what had happened. Normally I'm wearing this one. It's a little bit more high tech. So like, comment, share, and subscribe. Remember, subscribing and liking the video. It gets it out there into the YouTube world where somebody who otherwise is not subscribed to the channel, it might wind up in their feed and they might watch it. And they'll say to themselves, there's that crazy guy, if you see me go. But then it happens, and then they're like, all right, now hold on a second. Let me go in here and read this. Blessed are those who read Revelation and ponder it and understand it and apply it. Blessed are those. It's the only book of the Bible that you receive a blessing from reading, and they will. They'll read it, and they'll be like, all right, I see what's going on here. This explains that a bunch of people will disappear, and right around Seal 6, a great multitude that no man can count are going to appear there, and they'll start studying. I don't know when Seal 6 is opened. I kind of think it's going to take 7 days. The ark was open for 7 days. Noah was told, get into the ark on the 24th of October. On the 31st of October, God shut the door and it began to rain. He sat at that doorway for 7 days. That door stayed open for 7 days. Somebody brought it into the comment section. There is another passage of the Bible where they talk about a 7-day stay, a 7-day of waiting. And the end of the grace period, the end of grace would have ended at the end of that door. It's open, but then it's shut. And I almost want to say, I do want to say, actually, thinking about it, the 10 virgins, 5 virgins had oil, but they all fell asleep. They are a picture of the tribulation saint and the Jew. And what happened? The bridegroom can't be called a bridegroom unless he's with his bride. The bridegroom comes back and knocks, and the 5 virgins that had no oil were off trying to buy oil. They were off doing other things, but the other 5 had oil. They went right away. It's not describing how long after the bride was with the bridegroom as to when he came to retrieve the bridesmaids with the oil. It's not telling us how long. And I don't know. I don't know if it's 1 year. I don't know if it's 30 days. I've heard a lot of comments, people surmising how long it could be. And I don't know if it's 7 days. I don't know how long it will take. But notice in Revelation, when you're reading it, that the bridegroom, when John is in heaven and looking at this, the angels say, look over here at this seal, look over here at this seal, look over here at this seal. And then all of a sudden he's like, and who are these that appear in heaven? I don't know. You tell me, you're from heaven. It was one of the elders. Who are the elders? That's the bride. And again, the 24 elders simply cannot encompass every tongue and every nation and every type of person on the planet. They're just not enough. So it would be silly to assume that the 24 are just actually 24. Silly. There's no way to do that. You can read it for yourself. It says that 24 elders, they probably the leaders of all of us. We all need people that we would, look up to or lead, but we're all the bride, but is going to be a hierarchy there. And then the next thing you know, these people show up, and there's a great multitude that no man can count. And they are also from every tribe and every kindred and every tongue from around the world. And they're a great multitude. So it's a separate group. It's a different group. And they receive palm branches, and they have washed their robes white. They're certainly a different group than those who get a white robe or lounged back, reclining back at a table, eating a banquet, receiving crowns, casting them at the feet of Jesus, a rod of iron, and a mansion that waits for us. It's a different group. Very important. They still wind up in heaven. So it's a hierarchy thing, I believe. So anyway, wanted to go back over that real quick with better audio. Apologize for the last video. I probably should pull it down, but it's got more detail in it than this. I think I remembered everything. I don't know. So go to a quiet place by yourself. Nobody needs to know, and you don't need to tell anybody except the Lord in your heart. We have a very short time left. Though it tarry, it doesn't tarry. God knew this date from the foundations of the world. Jesus knows the date. He's not sitting back waiting for the Father to tell him. He is the Father. Jesus is the Father. We have misunderstood that passage like so many others, and there are those that will try to take the deity away from Jesus Christ. He is God himself, the Holy Spirit, God himself. All three are one. It's the Trinity. So I think I covered everything. The rapture is going to occur when? 29th is my next high watch date in exactly 1 week. So we just keep watching. Keep going across that raging river in the fog, jumping from stone to stone until finally we get to the other side. All right. I hope the audio is better. I won't even post this if the audio is not better. Jeez, that was wild. So somebody didn't want a message to get out, huh? I don't know. Hopefully my message is that important to for somebody to want to garble it up. So probably not. All right. We'll talk to you later.